Okay. So he stay back or he go home? Okay, too small for you.
Sorry, I'm getting my notebook.
Yeah, it's a bit small for me still.
Okay. Yeah. Last time we spent the whole session to discuss about the meaning of Pure Land.
Mhm.
You like it?
Hmm?
You like you hear the bell?
Yeah, it's very calming.
Is that okay now?
Yeah, that's good.
It's okay for you? Yeah. Okay. We start. No, we did this one, right? Not yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't remember us reading that part.
Yeah, go ahead.
By convention, the general term Pure Land denotes so-called purified field that surrounds all Buddhas, who by virtue of their great compassion and wisdom naturally create a space without defilements. The phrase Pure Land derives from an abbreviation of a line from a Chinese sutra translation when Amitabha Buddha, pure light, known in China as Amitoko and in Japan as Amitabutsu, is described as vowing to purify his realm for others who desire to venture there. Although there is no such term in Sanskrit, there were doctrines in India which stated that bodhisattvas would transform this world and that such idea, Buddha fields, Buddha Shaktra, existed in the four direction as goals for the next life. Well, it's saying that we get the term Pure Land from the, like a English translation of a Chinese translation of the Lotus Sutra. I don't know that I would say but it says there's no such term in Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, they talk about it, but what they call it is something different. They call it Sukhavati, which means like well-being place.
Yeah. So in your experience, which one is better, or we have to combine meditation or reciting Buddha names?
I think that it is a type of meditation.
Which one better for you?
I like them both. I like to chant the Buddha name sometimes just because, it's it purifies the mind. It like takes other stuff out of my mind and it's short and easy. I don't have to think like about a whole complicated way of doing it. Yeah, I like what Master Su Yin said, that it's like a type of meditation, just chanting it because it clears the mind.
Which one you prefer? You think both is working for you?
Yeah, I mean, I practice numerous types of meditation every day. So, yeah, I mean, of course, I enjoy chanting, I enjoy silent meditation, I enjoy walking meditation, I enjoy
Which one?
ringing bell, the bell ringing. I think they all can have a certain purpose to serve, and it helps my focus.
Which one can help you the focus of my quicker and also to dive deeply into the spiritual meditation or decide Buddha names or both? When you're really in tune.
I mean, I've gotten into some pretty, I feel like, deep states in seated meditation. I feel like I've had to work really hard to have those. I mean, I don't know, work really hard's the word, but I've had some really, really clear mind doing that. But of course, I feel like it's much easier to not be distracted by the major things, the body, all these other things, if you're chanting or you're moving. It's a lot you can get there, I guess, faster.
Yeah. I
'Cause you-
definitely, go ahead.
Yeah, it's because it's almost a distraction. You're not just sitting there in your own.
I definitely chant like I do the Buddha name the most, I would say. I do that one the most. The one that I think I like the most is when I chant like a whole sutra, but there's only like a couple of sutras that I have memorized, and it takes a while to learn a whole sutra, whereas it's like easy to learn like a Buddha name or a shorter mantra.
Do you feel any power when I mean, the essence power from Buddha when you recite Buddha names, or you same as meditation?
I feel the most whenever I come and we do the walking meditation and chant the Namo Ijapat. I feel the most powerful whenever we do the walking meditation and chanting the Ijapat at the same time. I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, well, I think that like really physically changes your vibration.
Yeah.
You
You
know.
can feel right, the rhythm, right?
Yeah, the rhythm, you have the other people chanting it, you're connecting to some sound that's continued for how many hundreds, if not thousands of years. Yeah, there's a lot of strong energy to connect to when you do that.
So Anthony, you just shared that you feel so relaxed last Saturday, right?
Yes, it was. I mean, obviously, I'm still learning all of the different names, so I was more silent and just focusing on my breathing and had my eyes closed, and I just felt like I was just kind of transported as I was breathing. It was just, yeah, that was my first experience with that, as far as having that so deep, because it was so quiet, and you could hear like a wind chime somewhere in the background. I could hear that, and just the smell of all the incense, and it's like, that was so amazing. And I'm like, I can't wait to go back. It's just like, that's my safe place now. So, I mean, I have a room upstairs that has all of the Buddhas in it, but I still need to learn the names. Yeah, and learning to pronounce them. So I think trying to focus on pronouncing them while I would be meditating at this point might distract me from getting into the meditation. But once I learn the names, yeah, I listen to everybody pronounce them. So I'm like, okay, so that's how it's pronounced. Some words are, yeah,
If you keep doing meditation every day, only
yes,
in the 30 minutes you will see the change in the
yes,
that all many thousand articles they talk about. They have the
right.
proof, proven evidence that show how we can change our brain, we can change our mentality, even physical body too.
Sometimes I have to take a minute to do that in between some of my calls. I'll take a minute and just close my eyes and just breathe while I'm waiting on another call to come in, because some calls can be upsetting, some can be emotional. So yeah, it helps, even if it's just a few minutes while you're waiting, it yeah, definitely helps.
In the 6th century CE commentary on the Lotus Sutra, Ji, a prominent member of China's Tiantai school, wrote of an absolute purification of this world through the salvic light of the Buddha's Dharma body. At that time, there were many popular practices devoted to the Buddha in the East, Ashgobaya imperitrable, known in China as Achu, and the Buddha in the West, Amitabha. Rituals developed that were dedicated towards rebirth in the purified realms of the transcendental Bodhisattva Maitreya in the Tushita heaven and Avalokiteshvara, a Guanyin, either of his own land in the residence with Maitreya or Amitabha. Maitreya, as prophesied future Buddha, and his Pure Land proved especially attractive to a wide range of
Yeah.
devotees, ranging from monks to the Empress Wu Zian, who declared herself to be his incarnation.
Okay.
So they have dates back, I guess, commentaries on the Lotus Sutra about purification through I guess somebody more of a savior type representation, because I suppose the previous Theravada schools, it's really about like seated meditation and doing your own uprooting of desires and attachment, where there are these other forms of purification through the Buddha's teaching, through the Dharmakaya, the Buddha's Dharma body. And so then you've got these other Buddha lands, such as one's the Western Pure Land with Amitabha, and some of these other realms with Maitreya and the Tushita heaven. It's just, it's not really addressed much in the Theravada schools.
No, it's pure rare. It's pure rare in the revelation because they focus on meditation only. Yeah, they don't focus much about
Somebody
the
else helping
Buddha
you.
power. The Buddha power. Yeah, so actually, yeah, before the 4th century in China, people, I mean, especially the famous monks, a master, they want to be reborn in the Tushita heaven with Maitreya Bodhisattva, so that they can learn from him directly, and to follow him to go down here.
But you can go to also the Western Pure Land to learn from the Amitabha Buddha, or you can go to some other
Yeah,
Pure
but before
Lands.
that, before when Buddhism just spread to China, yeah, from the 1st century to 4th century, so they would not know much about Amitabha Buddha.
Oh, it would just be the Tushita heaven.
Tushita heaven, most of the time, because this follow the Indian tradition, but by the 4th century, so there's one famous Chinese monk. He advocates, hey, go to the Buddha land in the West, Amitabha Buddha. So from that time on, somehow it become really popular up to nowadays. Yeah. So the idea is that when you go up to the heaven, you still need to go down here anyway.
Right, that's what I had always, other than I guess the Pure Lands, if you talk to the Theravada monk, you have the only way to enlighten is as a human in this realm.
You go up there with you learn from Maitreya Bodhisattva and come down to follow him. But when you go to the Amitabha Buddha land, you be there forever until you become Buddha. That's all. Hi Ben. Yes. Hi Ben. Are you at home, Ben? And it say that you know the only empress in China. Yeah, but here, Empress in China for the whole history. Can you hear me, Ben?
I'm in a restaurant, so it's kind of broken. I'm just gonna listen tonight. Okay.
You know her?
Yeah, I've heard of her. Yeah,
You
the
know why? Throughout thousand, probably, yeah, 4 or 5 thousand history, there's only one empress in China. Why is that?
like the Confucian culture, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, there was like a sutra that her supporters and she referenced saying that there would be the Bodhisattva born as a queen one time. And so
Mm.
she was like, that's me.
But anyway, because of Confucianism, you know, right? Women are like second class
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
Women stay home to cook, to take care of the families, to do the household, to take care of the children. That's all. They would not allow a woman to involve in politics. But this empress, she's so talented and smart that somehow she managed to become empress.
She
That's
was go
that's why so many, especially Taoists, the Confucian, they criticize her in negative way. But somehow she support Buddhism because Buddhism doesn't judge anyone.
Mhm.
And of course, she may say, "Oh, in the sense, right? She said, "Oh, I'm his the incarnation," whether it's true or not. But she she used him
Mhm.
to judge that she was empress.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that at least at that time Buddhism is so popular. She gets support from Buddhist people.
Yeah. That was in either the Tang or the Song.
The Tang
Tang,
dynasty.
yeah.
Mhm.
That was when like Buddhism like really was like at its peak in China, I think,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
It's those two.
yeah, and that time so many Buddhist sutra have been translated in Chinese, and many master. You can say that the Tang dynasty is about, I think, about 600 years.
Mhm.
It's considered as the golden age of Buddhism. Yeah, and actually, you know the Sid Patriarch, right?
Mhm.
And the man who wrote the first poems, right? She invited him to go to the court to teach, to lecture, to teach her and other. And she also invited Sid Patriarch too, but he denied.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, so she knew that Confucianism or Taoist people would not accept her. That's why
Yeah.
she turned to Buddhism to get support. That's why she mentioned, "Oh, I'm his generation," whether it's
Yeah.
true or not. Like people nowadays,
Yeah.
they use religion as the shield of their political support. Mm. Okay, you don't know much about this, right, Anthony?
Well, I'm learning, yes, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's Okay, so Ben, you can still hear, right, Ben? Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Anthony. You like to read, please?
Yes. Where it's eventually,
Yes.
um, hello, can you hear? Okay. Eventually, a belief in the so-called Pure Land, also called
Sukapa.
uh, Sukava,
Sukapa.
uh, created by Amitabha Buddha or Amitayus, came to overshadow all others, so that by the medieval period, that is the 7th century in China and the 13th century in Japan, terms like Pure Land teaching and Pure Land school clearly designated this tradition exclusively.
It's not.
It is like,
It's not, yeah, go
oh, sorry. It is likely that the names Amitabha and
ahead.
Ami,
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, you can stop and summarize the first one that you read.
oh, well, from what I was seeing, it was saying that like teaching the like terms of the Pure Land. I mean, they didn't really. They said it was so-called. To me, it's like they didn't really. Some people didn't take it as that it was truth when they say so-called, because they hadn't really recognized it yet. And then the Buddhas, like by the time they got to the 13th century, they were overshadowed and they were showing that it is true. I think that there was like a matter of them maybe believing or not believing in a Pure Land.
Yeah. And that's why you see so many of them, especially elderly people, they like to recite Buddha names. When you ask them to sit, they will not remember.
I've been through that, yeah.
You know that, especially during the winter time, right? We have 1 week of meditation. Remember, we have to shoulder to separate, right? Yeah, so they prefer to do the chanting because they could feel the blessing from Buddha, and we could feel that too. When we do meditation ourselves, most of the time it's self-support, self-effort. When we recite Buddha name, you could feel the blessing from Buddhas. You like to give next time?
Where do we leave off?
It is like right here.
It is likely that the names Amitabha and Amitayus originally denoted two different figures referring to light and life respectively, but when the common element Amita was translated into Chinese as Amito, this came to represent a single conflated Buddha. Under one of these two names, this Buddha occurs in literally hundreds of Mahayana sutras and other texts. In contrast to the defiled human world, the Pure Land is described as a kind of paradise that devoid of diversions, such as women and conflict, and superior to any heaven because Amito resides there, prepared to preach the Dharma to all those who ask for assistance.
Okay.
It's saying that in the oldest versions that Amitabha and Amitayos might have been two distinct Buddhas, but because their names were similar and they had a similar role, they kind of just got merged into one. And it talks about, just like what we were already talking about the Pure Land, it being like a place where you learn from the Buddhas directly of how to become enlightened, and there's no distractions or anything that would keep you from attaining the enlightenment.
Yeah, so please, when especially Westerner, when they come across that, okay, in Western Pure Land there's no woman, so they think Buddhism is sex.
Yeah, I mean the way that it's phrased in the book, it sounds bad, but
Yeah,
it's more just like that there's like no gender at all. Like
that's
there's
the point.
there's no men or women, so
Yeah, that's the point.
yeah, nobody has sex there.
Yeah, that's why in the Western my view, right? That's come about.
Yeah.
So imagine that when we were born without any gender, right? So we would not concern much about sexuality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of freedom there, right? Otherwise, it's just like us, right? We have all kind of temptation, right, with opposite sex. So that's a problem here. So ideally, right over there, there's no gender at all. Okay. Okay, please. Yeah.
Where are we?
Where there is strong.
There's strong evidence that devotees throughout the Indian Buddhist world strove to attain rebirth in Sukhavati after death. And this conception also took root in the Chinese imagination. The fundamentals of the philosophical system that underpins Pure Land teachings were laid down in China during the 6th and 7th century CE by a series of monks now considered to be the Chinese patriarchs of the Pure Land traditions. Tanluan, Daoqiu, Shandao, Jai Zi, and Huai Kan.
Mhm.
I get anywhere near, how'd I do? I don't know. Okay, so, so later on, yeah, these practices were made more popular by which the monks we now call the patriarchs of. Do you call them patriarchs of Zen, or is it only patriarchs of Pure?
The same, they have that, most tradition, they have what they call the founders of the tradition, they call patriarch.
Okay, because I
Zen.
feel like every time I've ever researched the patriarch, somehow, I don't know. It just could be. But those, the system that was brought around then is, I guess, what is popular now, has continued to be popular.
Mhm. Yeah, if you read Chinese, Vietnamese, you know them well. They advocate the Pure Land. That's why it's getting popular. They wrote volumes and volumes of commentaries about the Pure Land traditions. And
Like, he's taught some of the patriarchs to the Vietnamese people. In class, maybe.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably the Zen master, is that right? He talked about that, no?
I'm not sure, it wasn't when I was there.
No, not Sam. I was pointing Yao.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think he taught some of that maybe last year.
Okay. There's one famous you can Pure Land master. When he was a slave man, he was an officer. So he used the public money to buy fish and release them. And of course, he was punished by the court. In the past, the serious one is to chop up his head, to execute him. So, but somehow the executor didn't dare to chop up his head because he's so calm, he's so peaceful, and they could not harm him anyway. So later on, they released him, and when they released him, he became Buddhist monk, for our case, the Pure Land traditions, and from his time on, after that, many people follow his practice of releasing animals, releasing fish. Yeah. And now it's still practice, you see that. Here is too cold, but in Houston, there's many groups where many Vietnamese or Chinese Buddhists, they go to buy fish, buy birds, buy turtles, and so forth to release them. So what do you think? Is a strand, right? It's strand in the West to release the animal, right?
not
It's
really.
pure strand, right?
No.
You just need to make sure you're releasing the right kind of animal into the right environment, not by accident releasing exotic invasives.
Or somewhere where it would like die, I guess. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, even if you release it somewhere where it dies, it would probably still be happier than it would be, you know,
Consumed.
contain. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to tell them that, if you stop by at the restaurant and you see the crabs, even turtles or fish, and you can buy them alive, release them. Yeah, that's where you rescue them.
I once saw a guy on YouTube who, I don't remember if it was a lobster or a crab. I think it was a lobster. He actually bought a lobster at like a store where they were gonna eat it, and he took it home and kept it as a pet.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, please come in. You're a student, right?
Yes.
Oh, please come in. Yeah.
Sorry
Huh?
I'm sorry about the timing.
No, that's
That's
okay.
okay.
Please come in. Yeah. Um. So you are which school? Spartan, is that right? Bellarmine, I see. So you write about.
So I have a project
Mhm.
where I'm learning about Buddhism right now.
Mhm.
And he has asked us to go to a temple for a day or a night.
Oh,
and
sure. Mm-hmm.
Just observe or join.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was a little bit more interested in the Buddhism part of it, so.
Oh, sure. So what the paper you writing about?
It's just about my observations, just
Okay.
what I observed, my reactions, so.
Yeah, so that's good. So and I told you, right, tonight we have meditation session we just done. And now we have Buddhist section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we have meditation, but just quiet. We
Yes.
don't talk.
How long is the meditation for?
Huh?
How long is the meditation? I think.
You can come from 8 to 11, can come many times.
Yeah.
The session is 45 minutes sitting and 15 minutes walking. Yeah.
I would like to do that.
Sure. You come on Sunday too? You come on Sunday?
Tomorrow,
I'll come Sunday? Yeah, I plan on coming Sunday.
I probably won't.
And Sunday we have in
Yeah.
Vietnamese. Yeah, in Vietnamese. But tomorrow you come right?
We chant English.
I might come tomorrow, but I might not be able to stay very long because I have a lot of work to do.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll try to come for a little bit.
after meditation about 10:45, we have a short chanting about 10 and 15 minutes in English. Yeah, they will do.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me share with you let's see how they release the animals that we talk about spirit strength in the West. Okay. Well, let me share with you this video clip here. Sam, you might to explain to me what?
Oh, it's not on the screen.
I know. I mean,
Oh.
about why we need to release the animal and so forth.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about right before you got here is the practice of taking animals that are like captured to be eaten or something and buying them and setting them free instead for compassion. And,
Yeah, you can see here, the Buddhist people in Vietnam. So they release tons of fish to the yeah. Let's see here. There's a they pause the Let me skip this one so you can see. Oh, yeah. You see that? Yeah, before they release, they do the prayer. Mm.
The little boy that I work with, anytime I show him a picture of a monk, he says, "Is that the Buddha?"
You see that? Yeah, they release them down to the river.
So Buddhists do not kill any animals.
Huh?
Buddhists do not kill any animals.
Oh, that's ideally, but of course, some still consume animals, not all. But the point is that to release animal to show how we care for them instead of consuming them. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
tradition is strict vegetarian, but a lot of the other traditions are not.
Yeah.
I mean, you can like if you lived in the mountains in Tibet, you can't really not eat meat.
like,
It's freezing
yeah.
cold and
with this tradition, like the monks and the nuns are all completely vegetarian, and a lot of the lay people are, but not all the lay people.
So there are monks and nuns.
Yeah, nuns are who is in there right now.
If you want,
Yeah.
after this, you can go up and take picture. We can go a picture. So we see that Buddhism advocates sacred animals instead of consuming. So whenever people come, if they want to use our temple for meeting and so far, usually say we don't have consume one type of animal or seafood.
Yeah.
And that's the my Buddhist tradition. But if you visit Thailand, Burma, and so forth, you see they still consume them. The big difference. So it's still rare in the West, right? In the West to release those couple of animals.
Yeah,
Really.
it's definitely not a common thing. Like
Mhm.
there's some people who do that kind of thing, but not a lot.
Animal rights activists.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, like I used to, when I was on social media more, I used to follow a place. They didn't set them free, but there was like a place where they would like take like cows and stuff that were supposed to be killed for meat, and they would like buy them and keep them on like
Oh, like I
a
say, we
a
have one.
sanctuary.
We have
Yeah,
one here.
and just let them like have a nice life.
Yeah, we have an animal sanctuary like that here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's. Hi, and Stephen. How you been, Stephen?
More Phật thầy, I am well. How are you?
How about your wife? They have you been releasing fish before with your wife and daughters?
Have what? I'm sorry.
Have you been releasing the fish like this with your wife and daughters before?
No, not yet.
But you
But
see,
we have heard and seen about it. But no, ourselves we have not been done that before. So
she devout Buddhist. She did sometime in the past.
do what? I'm sorry.
Did your wife release the fish or the bird before?
Not that I am aware of. I haven't heard she say anything like that. So
Yeah, it's just because here too cold. Otherwise, actually before we release the pigeon, but
Yeah.
Been here when you guys were.
During summer camp, they did it.
summer
Yeah.
came and they stay around here around.
There was one of them that was like looking, that hung out on the roof and was like looking in the window all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, our temple in Cordon, right? Whenever we release, they stay back and make the mess. Usually we brought them to the park to release them there, so they don't make the mess at the temple. You know, pigeon they just they fly much up for a while.
Yeah.
So that's why. Okay.
I have rabbits that live in my yard, and I've been feeding them like lettuce, and I've just been putting like vegetables and stuff out for them because they seem to really like my yard, and they'll sit and watch Simba when she goes outside, and Simba won't bother them, but they'll sit and watch her, you know. But I just been feeding them the little rabbits, and then there'll be a bunch of them later this summer, I'm sure. But would this be like the same as, you know, how when people say if you cut down a tree, you're supposed to plant another tree? Is that the same concept?
Kind of,
Possibly.
but we concern more about animals. They live.
Right.
Yeah. Over there in Cordon, we put a sign. There's no hunting, and even yeah, someone asked if they can hunt around around. I say no way. We don't want to kill any kind of animals. Yeah,
I
even
would like to.
you know, every year people they like to hunt. So if they let's say if you have the farm, right, you can rent
Yeah.
out for them to.
You get so many tags.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and you want your tags.
No, we refer to protect life instead of taking cars. Yeah, it's a safe animal. So this the strength for you.
Yes,
Mhm,
yes,
yeah. And I think in the fall, right? Once per year or twice per year, when in the fall they allow people to hunt, to shoot out the deer to control the deer population.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
like a
deer pop-
season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it really preserves, like, it's, if they didn't do that, there's a lot of diseases and like really awful things that they would succumb to if they don't, take a certain percentage of the public, just, there's not enough space for them. Yeah, it's,
Yeah, one more time, the idea is to save life, not to destroy life, especially animals. Yeah, for the children here, whoever live here or come here, if they like hamburger or whichever, go out to eat, not here.
Mhm.
Yeah, They can go out the gate, if not inside the temple round. Okay, so let's us go back to our reading.
The little kids like to snitch about that too.
The last time, remember who messed that? Who did that?
The kids with that guy from
Oh,
New Jersey.
Yeah,
The
It
kids-
was funny, right? They get good smell.
yeah.
So, Sam, you want to say what about that story?
Just the one guy had brought some kind of food that had chicken in it, and the kids were not having it. Long came and told you immediately.
They get used to that.
Yeah.
You teach them when they're young, and then they get older, they would not.
Yeah, that makes it easier for them when they're older.
Those kids love to point out how somebody else is doing something wrong and they're being.
Yes.
I was like, Long, Ty's in his office, tell him later when he's not busy, and Long was like, no, I'm gonna
It's
just
like
tell
it's
him
gotta
right
be an
now.
emergency.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so let's go back to our reading here. So our reading is about the Pure Land in Buddhism. The Pure Land is where the Buddhist people decide Buddha names, just like in Christian tradition, right? They pray for God, so that after that they go, they unite with God. So there is the Pure Land tradition. So it's a similarity there, but different practice. So the Buddhist people decide Buddha names. So after they pass what they wish, that the Buddha will take them to the Pure Land to live there forever and become Buddha. That's different in Christian tradition, right? So you go there to unite with God and to serve God, right? But in Buddhist tradition, no, you go to Pure Land to become Buddha like him. And that's equal right there.
So what book is this?
This book is I use what they call Buddhism, the Illustrated Guide. I use this book to teach my college student.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm teaching at IUS, IUS, right?
Yeah.
And University of Houston. So this book remain one that teaching.
Yeah, Buddhism is not like Christianity or Islam where you have one book. You've got libraries.
Thousand.
Yeah, so it's not like you can go and like read the Buddhist doctrine because that's not how it works. It's libraries of stuff.
There's one website. It's plenty of Mahayana Buddhist Sutra in English for you to read. You know about that?
I can't remember the name of it, but I think I've
No, a
seen it
lot.
before.
I get filed recently. I will show you here.
Is it like BuddhaNet?
No, not Buddha. This one here, this side. You can I can give you the link.
Oh,
It's more than 336 Mahayana Buddhist Sutra have been translated to English, mainly from Tibetan Kenyan. Yeah, it's really lofty. Of course, for the Pali Kenyan, I think they've been translated completely already.
Yeah, a number of times.
Mhm,
Yeah,
but-
there's some good current translations.
But not from Mahayana tradition yet. Yes, but this one you see, I can give you the link and you see plenty of sutra. Anyway, so let's go back here. Yeah.
oh, sure.
Oh yeah. That's a children paper.
Yeah, we tutor kids.
We have here a man tutor here.
Yeah.
He take care of the children. We have from Monday to Saturday, 5:30 to 8:30. He's the main one.
Was it
Yeah, the
decimals?
children here.
I come from La Escuelita in Beachmont, and we work with immigrant kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You stop by anytime from Monday to Thursday.
Oh, 20 kids.
I think we have in average about
I guess on average, I'd say we have like 12 to 15.
That group yesterday, we had this pretty big.
Yeah, I think the most we ever have is like 20 or so. Sometimes you only have like 6.
They are all from different cultures.
mostly they are Vietnamese.
Yeah, mostly Vietnamese.
Mhm.
I mean, they're
They're
American
born here.
kids. They're
Yeah.
American kids, but their parents are
Okay.
Vietnamese.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, and Stephen, can you read this paragraph, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Dao Cho students, Shendo, further clarified two essential points made by his master: the acceptance of one's own spiritual limitations and the role of Amitabha as an agent of salvation. Shendo's unique vision concluded that among the many diverse and difficult practices directed toward the goal of rebirth in the Pure Land, the Buddha Amitabha had already suggested one practice as superior to all others: the simple recitation of his sacred name in the formula Nianfo Amituo Fo. Take refuge in Amitabha Buddha.
Yeah.
Always sounds just.
In the general sense, I guess it's explaining about how this one student, Shendo, was explaining just the essence of learning the Buddha's teaching, and that getting to Pure Land obviously is not somewhat easy for everyone, but it is attainable. And according to just Buddhist teaching, there's only one specific correct way, which is basically cold-heartedly reciting his name and truly following, his way of teaching. So it's the only way to get to Pure Land.
Nice.
Mopate.
Last time we watched the video clips, right? The animation, right?
I was
Stuff.
just saying, Steven's voice sounds just like the voice of that animation.
Where's that?
Steven's voice, if you listen to Steven's voice, it sounds like the voice of the animation that we
Oh,
watched.
oh, okay.
I am honored.
Okay. Um, So last time we watched that, I won't show again, but I just show this one, the short one. So that's why. Let me share one more times. Yeah, we watched few times, right? But I want to move to this one here. That's not the right here, right? What do you call this one? I forgot.
Gondola.
What's that tram?
Gondola
No,
I've heard it called something
or a
else.
sky tram.
Like-
oh, the sky tram. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So right here. I go back. Like instead of walking, right? Instead of walking, step by step, right here. That's what they call the self effort. You walk step by step up to the mountain, but instead you can sit on the sky tram,
Yeah.
right, from mountain to mountain. So that's the idea in Buddhism. Yeah. So in Buddhism, there's many ways. So you can do meditation. That means self effort, self help. Another thing is right in this one here, you decide call the Buddha names, and you get the other support or the Buddha blessing, rescue you to the Pure Land. That's the idea. It's like in Christian tradition.
So Buddhism gets you to the Pure Land easier? That's what it says?
Depend. Not
No.
easy. Depend. If you're really sincere in Buddhist view, the Buddhist way.
That it's just one way to
One way.
enlighten. It's not like,
Yeah.
there's like many ways.
So
to
in
enlighten.
Buddhist view, especially for this Pure Land, you have to have the vows to be born up there. You have to have the practice. That means you need to recite his name. And you have to have the strong faith that you can be born up there. It's different from Christian tradition, right? So you have the faith, that's more enough, right? But in Buddhism, no, faith alone is not enough. You have to practice. You have to decide.
But that's
Buddha's
probably fastest, easiest way to enlighten, the most
Yeah.
accessible way. The other ways are a lot harder.
In the West, you will not see for common people to decide Jesus' name, right? Only whenever they have problem, right? But
But I think the Catholics say the rosaries. They say his mom's name.
I'd say it like varies by tradition, but they definitely do it different with like a different intention.
okay. Yeah. So Anthony, you follow, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just really listening and taking it all in. So, yeah.
So this is why.
And
So whoever like to do meditation, that's great. Like, and you could feel it's just change in your body and mind when you really in tune with meditation. But not the practice decide Buddha names. Not the practice decide the mantra. You know what's mantra?
I don't know the mantra.
Sam,
Oh, well, there's different mantras. Mantra means like a mind tool. It's like a phrase that you learn that you say that like helps you be mindful of like something important that's like helpful to you.
I don't know what a mantra is, but do we have a mantra?
Well, there's different
plenty,
ones. Yeah,
thousands
a lot
or
of
millions of
different ones.
mantra. The short one, Om Mani Padme Hum. Whether you know, right? Om Mani
Yeah, that's
Padme
a really
Hum, right? The
famous
short
one.
one and the long one. So many of them.
Nam-myoho Renge Kyo is a really popular one. A lot of people.
Yeah.
I know that one. Yeah.
Is that what you chant? You chant.
Mainly for the chanting.
And
So
you can
yeah,
you
go
can
ahead.
feel it. You can feel it. I mean, you can really feel it when you do it. That's the one thing even when you're chanting, you can feel the vibrations, and it kind of, it's like tuning your body in a way to a tune, I guess, a song in a way.
The singer, right? Some of them they can sing a beautiful song, right? They uplifting the other people's spirit, right? And in Buddhism, the Zen mantra is working the same way. Mantra is like the password, the passcode. That is the special spell, special passport that were transmitted by Buddha and Bodhisattva. Their mind so pure, so that they can live that type of mantra for people to decide, so that they, whenever they are really in tune with that type of mantra, they will be in tune with the Buddha mind. That's the whole idea there. And also when you decide whether Buddha name or mantra, you would not need to think much. Most of the time, let's say when you look at the water bottle or anything pop up in your mind, oh, you can have some kind of thinking, right? Oh, this is full water, it's with black, white, so forth. So it trigger your thinking. But when you decide Buddha name, then decide the mantra, it does the reverse way. That you would not think much. So it's like a relaxation too. But it's still in active way. You meditate in active way. In meditation, you let go of all kind. That's the one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's see here. Anthony, you like to read the next one, please? Go here.
Yes. Called Ninefo is in Chinese, and it was a practice that anyone could perform, requiring only sincerity and a minimal amount of concentration to be effective. Shando asserted that Amitabha was unique in that he sought to help everyone, not only the most adept, thereby reversing traditional Buddhist notions which equated difficult practice with higher annotation. The ritual recantation of Amitabha's name, along with the ritual chanting of Pure Land Sutras, gave rise to a range of elaborate and moving musical ceremonies still practiced today. So yeah, that's yeah, that was kind of what I was saying about that. It's like you feel it. It's like when people are humming, or and it gives them a variety not just one, but you could use more and still be, as long as you're sincere with it.
So I say that
So
when
much better than yeah. I was just going to mention it's so much better than just taking a pill for depression or anxiety. It really suits you down because what Anthony was saying, there was over at Anderson, Indiana. It used to be, I don't know what the temple is called now, but it used to be Fulmanatai. We had two visitings masters from different state temple they were coming over to visit during that one time for some ceremony. But there was one of them that did I don't know what mantra it is. I'm still learning, of course, but his voice, if you could imagine the best singer in the whole world, that's how this master was like when he was reciting this mantra. And it was just like everything else was phased out, and you just felt so at ease and at tune. And I haven't found anyone who ever recited anything that peacefully and perfect harmony. And there was hardly any music; it was just his voice. So, Mofate.
in Tibetan tradition, they have what called the throat.
Yeah, it
throat
sounds very
voice, right?
interesting.
You heard about that?
You
It's so
want-
powerful, right?
You want to hear my impression?
Uh,
I won't do it.
can you do that?
I'll spare you.
I don't think I can do it. I don't know.
I
I've never
can,
really
I joke
tried.
around.
I definitely when I do like chanting, I have a different voice than my normal voice, but it's not
Mhm.
like a throat singing voice.
Because when they have that kind of throat voice or throat chanting, it's vibrate the whole body. It's not the mouth, not the sound, not tongue only, but for the whole body. The whole body is synchronized with the chanting. You could feel that kind of so
I love
powerful.
listening to
And not everyone can chant like that way. That's why for the Tibetan monks, they have some monk that been trained in that type of recitation. Anthony, have you heard about that? Throat
Yes.
voice? You know about that? Oh, sorry, can I hear you? Can I hear you?
Can you hear me now? There we go. Okay. Yes, I have heard of that before. Yes. And it is magical.
Powerful. And even
Uh,
there's some best singer, right? If they use opera, they call opera, right?
opera.
They use the throat voice, right?
There's a lot of different.
It's just so powerful. You can feel that, the
It's
whole
amazing.
body.
It's amazing to watch opera singers train or perform.
Oh, you teach children, right? You teach them.
I am
Drama.
not trained in, I teach them drama. I can't teach them, but I have rehearsed plenty of spaces before where like the Kentucky Opera was training. So like on my break, I could go watch them. And
They
it's
use
just-
throat voice, right?
And well, all kinds of voices. I mean, it's, I think that being an opera singer is the hardest out of all the arts. That you have to be born with a talent, you have to be super duper smart, and you have to have a whole lot of training.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the way in Buddhist view. So you can calm your mind out by doing meditation. You can recite Buddha name, recite the mantra. This is plenty of ways to concentrate your mind.
Active meditation. Active meditation.
You can say active meditation. There's some people instead of be mindful of washing the dishes, if they play around with their mind too much, they can recite Buddha names, recite mantra. So everyone has different ways how to practice. It's so flexible. It's not one way street, not one way. So many ways for people to do the practice.
But yeah, the Buddha acknowledged that there are many ways to enlighten, and it's gonna be different depending on your level and how far along you are and your culture.
Okay, so let's finish today then. Okay. Yeah. So.